Lovely viewers, welcome back once again to another deep dive into the world of Korean entertainment and the stories that keep us all on the edge of our seats. Today's topic is one that will have every one of you whispering, sharing, debating, and replaying this video over and over again, because the revelations we're about to unfold feel like something straight out of a drama. Imagine waking up to news that Joong and Hye Kyo, the former golden couple who captured the world's heart in both their on-screen and off-screen love story, have been spotted together again in what many sources are now calling a secret meeting. This is not just any casual spotting or fan speculation. This is the kind of moment that reignites the curiosity of fans across the globe. Sit tight, because for the next few hours we're going to unpack every detail, every whisper, every possible angle surrounding the secret meeting, and we will do it interactively, as if you, my lovely audience, are sitting right here with me analyzing it all. So let's start by imagining the atmosphere of this secret encounter. Reports have trickled out, claiming that the two were seen in a quiet, low-profile location, away from the glare of Seoul's busiest streets, far from the bustling paparazzi that usually follow stars of their caliber. The choice of venue itself says so much, doesn't it? If they wanted to avoid the public eye, what does it mean that they were caught regardless? Could it suggest that the meeting was far too important to skip, even if it meant taking the risk of being seen together? These are the questions fans immediately began asking as soon as the first whispers surfaced. And that leads us to the most intriguing point of all. Why now? After years of separation, after countless speculations, and after both stars moved on publicly in their careers, why are we hearing of them sharing the same space again in such secrecy? Now, my dear viewers, let's really think about this. Joong and Hye Kyo were not just any celebrity couple. They were one of the most adored pairings in the history of Korean drama. Their chemistry in Descendants of the Sun wasn't just an act. It translated into a real-life romance that culminated in a wedding that the world celebrated. Fans around the world called them the Song couple, and their every move made headlines. So when their divorce was announced, it wasn't just news. It was heartbreak on a massive scale. To see them together again now, years later, naturally sparks the kind of conversation that blurs the line between what's private and what belongs to the public. Let's pause for a moment and think like fans who've been waiting for years. If you were a supporter of the Song couple, what would be going through your mind right now hearing about this secret meeting? Would your heart race at the possibility of reconciliation? Or would you take a step back and wonder whether this was purely a professional encounter, something unrelated to romance? That's exactly what makes this situation so electrifying. There are endless possibilities, and every fan is interpreting the same set of clues in different ways. Eyewitness accounts, though sparse, add to the fire. Some claim that the two were seen sharing a quiet conversation, with no obvious signs of tension, as if they were simply catching up. Others, however, swear that the body language between them suggested something more: comfort, familiarity, even a lingering connection that many thought was long gone. My lovely audience, here's where it gets even more interesting. Sources suggest that this was not their first private meeting since the divorce. Could this mean they've been in contact for a while now, and we're only just finding out? The mere suggestion of this possibility is enough to keep the rumor mills spinning day and night. Now let's interact a bit. Imagine you're sitting across the table from Joong and Hye Kyo during this supposed secret meeting. What would you ask them if you had the chance? Would you go straight to the question on everyone's mind? Are you getting back together? Or would you tread carefully, asking instead if they were working on a new project together? Think about it for a moment. The tone of their answers would reveal so much more than their words. We also need to consider the timing of this revelation. Both Joong and Hye Kyo have been thriving in their respective careers. Joong, with his daring roles and global recognition, has carved out a distinct path for himself. Hye Kyo, with her elegance and continued dominance in dramas and endorsements, remains a queen of Korean entertainment. Neither of them needs a scandal to boost relevance. They are already household names. So why now? Why risk the chaos that would follow news of them meeting again? Unless the matter at hand was personal, meaningful, and urgent enough to warrant the risk. Fans online are already divided. Some are thrilled at the mere idea of reconciliation, flooding social media with hashtags and throwback photos of their favorite couple. Others are more cautious, reminding everyone of the pain both parties went through during their divorce, and urging people not to jump to conclusions. This clash of perspectives is what keeps the discussion alive. And my lovely viewers, I'd love to hear what side you're leaning towards. Are you hopeful or are you skeptical? Another layer to this story involves the secrecy itself. If this meeting was truly innocent, why not be open about it? Why meet in a discreet location, away from the limelight? Celebrities often collaborate or reconnect as friends without any drama attached. So the fact that it was labeled secret instantly adds weight to the theory that there's more going on than meets the eye. Could they be discussing unresolved personal matters? Or perhaps they are exploring the idea of working together on screen again, something fans have been begging for since Descendants of the Sun. The very thought of them sharing the screen once more sends chills down spines worldwide. Lovely audience, let's take a little interactive pause here. Imagine you're a director, and you're secretly watching this meeting unfold. You see the spark between them, the shared history, the undeniable chemistry. Wouldn't you be tempted to offer them a new project together immediately? Wouldn't you want to recreate that magic, knowing how powerful their presence is when combined? This angle too cannot be ruled out. But we cannot ignore the emotional layer to all of this. Song Joong-ki and Song Hye Kyo shared not only a marriage but also a bond that once seemed unbreakable. People don't just erase years of love and memories overnight. Could it be that this meeting was an attempt at closure, a way of tying up loose ends that lingered after their separation? Or could it be, on the contrary, a new beginning? These are questions that only the two of them can truly answer. But for now, it's up to us, their fans and admirers, to speculate, analyze, and dream. The global reaction, too, is something worth exploring. News outlets across Asia and beyond have already begun circling the story, with headlines ranging from "Secret Reunion Sparks Rumors" to "Are Song Couple Back Together?" This media frenzy mirrors the reaction back when their relationship was first revealed years ago. It shows that even after all this time, the power of their love story, and the heartbreak that followed, remains deeply etched in the minds of millions. And here's a thought I'd love for you to reflect on. What if this secret meeting was less about romance and more about friendship? What if, after years of healing, they've simply reached a place where they can be in each other's company without bitterness? Isn't that just as powerful a story? After all, forgiveness, healing, and maturity are just as compelling as romance. But, of course, the romantic in all of us is secretly rooting for something more, isn't it? As we keep peeling back these layers, one thing becomes clear. Whether this meeting leads to reconciliation, a professional collaboration, or simply closure, the fact that Song Joong-ki and Song Hye Kyo were together again has reignited something special in the hearts of fans. It proves that some stories, no matter how they end, never truly fade away. They live on in whispers, in hopes, in the quiet corners of our imaginations. Now, lovely viewers, as we near the heart of this conversation, let's interact again. Picture the scene vividly. Two people with a complicated past sitting together quietly, away from the world. Do you think their smiles were cautious or genuine? Do you think their conversation was filled with small talk or deep emotions? These are the little details that keep us hooked, the ones we wish we could witness firsthand. And so, as we wrap up this exploration for now, one thing is certain. The Song couple, whether as lovers, friends, or simply as two people with a shared past, continue to captivate the world in a way few others can. This secret meeting, whether accidental or deliberate, has reminded us all of the magic they once shared and the possibilities that still linger in the air. Lovely audience, I leave the floor to you. What do you believe this secret meeting means? Do you think it's the spark of something new, or simply two old flames finding closure? Share your thoughts, your hopes, and your theories, because this is one story that belongs as much to the fans as it does to the stars themselves. When I asked you to picture that secret meeting, two people with a history that shook the world sitting together quietly, you could almost feel the weight in the air, couldn't you? That lingering silence between them, filled not with emptiness but with all the unspoken words of the past, the memories, the regrets, and perhaps even the longing. Now let's pick up right there and continue unraveling what this meeting might really mean, because the reactions, the theories, and the emotional consequences are only just unfolding. Think about how powerful this moment is, not just for them, but for the millions of people who once believed in their love. Song Joong-ki and Song Hye Kyo's relationship was not just personal, it was global. Their love story played out in public. Their wedding was celebrated worldwide, and their divorce left scars not only on them but also on the hearts of fans who felt they had lost something precious. And now, after years of silence, they're suddenly spotted together again. My lovely audience, can you imagine the emotional tsunami this creates? People are refreshing their social media feeds every minute, waiting for the next detail, the next clue, the next photograph. And all of us are asking, what really happened in that meeting and what does it mean for the future? Now let's imagine it more vividly together. The setting is intimate, perhaps a quiet restaurant or a private lounge, with dim lights and a hushed atmosphere. The kind of place where two people could slip into a corner and talk without being overheard. Song Hye Kyo with her trademark elegance, perhaps in something simple yet stunning, and Song Joong, effortlessly charming but with a hint of nervousness in his smile. They sit across from each other and the energy in that room shifts. Did they laugh at first, breaking the ice with a light-hearted comment? Or was the beginning filled with hesitation, both of them unsure how to step into each other's world again? These small details, though unknown, ignite our imagination. Fans who once supported them passionately are already crafting scenarios. Some believe this is the beginning of a reconciliation. They picture the two stars slowly rebuilding trust, finding comfort in each other again, and perhaps even exploring the possibility of rekindling their romance. Can you imagine the headlines if that ever became official? The internet would break. The hashtags would dominate every platform. And you, my lovely audience, would be right here with us reliving the fairy tale from the beginning. Others, however, offer a different interpretation. They see this meeting as a necessary closure. Perhaps there were things left unsaid when they parted ways. Apologies, explanations, or even gratitude. Maybe this meeting was a way for them to finally put the past to rest, to walk away with peace instead of bitterness. And honestly, isn't that just as beautiful? Because closure is powerful. It allows both people to move forward without carrying the weight of unfinished business. But here's another possibility, and I want you to think about this with me. What if this meeting had nothing to do with romance or closure, but everything to do with their careers? Both Song Joong and Song Hye Kyo are megastars. They know how much their pairing means to fans. They know the demand for a reunion drama would be explosive. What if they were discussing a potential project together, quietly testing the waters before any official announcements? The thought alone sends shivers down the spine. Imagine the two of them starring in another drama, their chemistry reignited on screen. Wouldn't that be a gift to the fans who have waited for so long? Lovely audience, let's interact again. If you had the power to write the script of their lives from this point forward, what would you choose? Would you script them falling back in love, stronger than ever before, proving to the world that true love finds its way back no matter the obstacles? Or would you write a story of mutual respect and friendship, showing the beauty of moving on while still cherishing the past? Or perhaps you'd pen a drama where they become co-stars again, turning their real-life history into powerful performances that leave us breathless. Which path tugs at your heart the most? Of course, the secrecy of the meeting cannot be ignored. Why did they meet in such a hidden way? Was it to avoid misinterpretation, knowing full well that the world would explode with rumors if they were seen together? Or was it because they wanted privacy to talk freely without the pressure of flashing cameras and endless speculation? The secrecy itself becomes part of the story, adding mystery and intrigue. And when something is hidden, it only makes people want to know more. Now let's zoom out and think about the ripple effect. For Song Joong, who has been in the spotlight for his career and personal life in recent years, this story adds another dimension to his image. For Song Hye Kyo, who has gracefully carried herself through every storm, this meeting sparks new conversations about where her heart truly lies. Their fans are divided but also united in one thing. They care deeply. And caring means watching, analyzing, and hoping. So what happens next, lovely viewers? Will there be another sighting? Will one of them break their silence and address the rumors? Or will this meeting remain shrouded in secrecy, with only whispers and speculation to keep us entertained? That uncertainty is what makes this story so captivating. It's not just about the facts. It's about the emotions, the possibilities, and the dreams it awakens in every fan. And here's where you come in again. What would you want them to say if they ever released a statement? Would you prefer a clear explanation, putting all rumors to rest? Or would you rather they leave it ambiguous, allowing fans to keep the mystery alive? Sometimes, the unknown is more powerful than the truth, because it keeps the story alive in our imaginations. Lovely viewers, the continuation of this story is not written yet. It's unfolding as we speak. Every fan reaction, every whispered detail, every speculative article becomes part of the narrative. And you, watching this video, are part of that narrative too. Because the love, the heartbreak, and the hope we invest in these stars make their stories more than just celebrity gossip. They become shared experiences, memories we all hold together. Now I ask you again, dear audience. If this secret meeting was the first step in something bigger, what do you think is coming next? A second meeting? A quiet collaboration announcement? Or maybe, just maybe, the rekindling of the most iconic love story in Korean entertainment history? Whatever the answer, one thing is certain. The Song couple's story is far from over, and we'll be here every step of the way to uncover what happens next. From the moment whispers of that secret meeting hit the internet, the ripple effect has been impossible to ignore. News outlets scramble for confirmations, fan communities dig for clues, and every little movement of both Song Joong-ki and Song Hye Kyo is being watched like a hawk. But the question that sits at the heart of all this is simple. What's next? What happens after this first spark of reunion, whether it was intentional or not? That's exactly what we're going to continue unraveling together. Imagine, lovely audience, the aftermath of this encounter. Once the initial shock subsided, people began to analyze everything. What they were wearing, how long they stayed, who left first, and whether they looked comfortable or tense. These details may sound small, but for fans they hold weight. If Song Joong-ki left first with a smile on his face, what does it mean? If Song Hye Kyo lingered a little longer after, could it suggest she was reflecting on the emotions stirred during their time together? Every subtle action becomes a clue, and when you put them all together, the picture only gets more fascinating. And let's not forget the undeniable human element here. Behind the cameras, behind the fame, these are two people who once shared their lives in the most intimate way. Do you think it's possible to ever completely detach from someone who has been such a huge part of your story? My lovely viewers, I'd argue no. Even if love fades, even if circumstances force people apart, the memories linger like shadows that appear when the light changes. This is why the idea of them sitting together again, even briefly, strikes such a deep chord in all of us. Now let's push our imagination a little further. What if this secret meeting wasn't their last? What if it was only the beginning? A quiet test to see how it feels to be in each other's company again, without the weight of the world pressing down on them. And if that first step felt natural, comforting, maybe they'd risk a second meeting, then a third. Soon enough, whispers could become patterns, and patterns could become undeniable truths. How would the world react then? Would people embrace the idea of reconciliation, or would they criticize them for reopening old wounds? Lovely audience, I want you to picture two scenarios with me. In the first scenario, this meeting evolves into something public. Maybe they're spotted at a charity event together, or perhaps they casually mention each other in interviews. The speculation would immediately shift gears, moving from "did they meet?" to "are they back together?" The buzz would be unstoppable, and you know the entire world would be watching closely. In the second scenario, however, they keep their interactions hidden, meeting quietly in places far from the public eye. They rebuild slowly, away from the noise, only revealing the truth when they're ready. Which scenario feels more real to you? Which would you prefer to see unfold? Of course, we also have to consider the possibility that this meeting has nothing to do with rekindling romance. It's possible that they're navigating the delicate road of forgiveness. Closure is something many people struggle to find, especially after a high-profile breakup. Perhaps the meeting was about letting go of any lingering pain, about telling each other face-to-face that they wish nothing but happiness for one another. If that's the case, then it's still a powerful and emotional step, one that speaks volumes about maturity and growth. But here's the twist. Whether it was about reconciliation, closure, or even professional collaboration, the secrecy adds another layer. Why keep it quiet if it was harmless? Why risk being spotted if they weren't prepared for the fallout? Could it be that emotions ran deeper than even they expected, and secrecy was their way of protecting something fragile? This mystery fuels the story more than anything else. And my lovely viewers, I think we all agree that unanswered questions are the most thrilling part of any narrative. And let's not forget the fan reactions. Around the world, supporters of the Song Song couple are dusting off their old photos, rewatching Descendants of the Sun, and flooding timelines with emotional posts.